Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to be reading a poem called "Mother to Son" by Langston Hughes. What we're going to do to help with analysis, we're going to do something called TP Cast. We're not going to do everything in TP Cast, but we're only going to do about three things. We're going to do title, connotation, and we're going to talk about the theme of the poem. So, with our first look at title, we haven't read the poem, so we just make a prediction about what we think the poem is going to be about. So, the name of the poem, like I said, is Mother to Son. Based on that title, what do you think the poem is going to be about? Yes, sir.
I think it'll be more about mother and son. They probably you probably gotta tell them something like something important or something they need to know.
All right, telling him something important or something that he needs to know. Does
Yeah.
anybody agree, disagree?
I
I agree.
agree.
Why do we agree?
You can go ahead.
I agree because by like the top it say mother to son. I feel like what he was saying like it is because she probably like telling him something he needs to know like a life lesson or anything.
Okay, you.
I agree also about the mother to son. They say like father to son, mother to son. Basically, they'll tell you that before they tell you something very important or tell you a life lesson.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read the poem and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the connotations. All right, well, son, I'll tell you. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it and splinters and boards torn up and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare. But all the time, eyes have been a climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners and sometimes going in the dark where it ain't been no light. So, boy, don't turn your back. Don't you sit down on the steps because you find it kind of hard. Don't you fall now, for eyes are still going, honey. Eyes are still climbing, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair. All right, so before we talk about connotation, let's talk about something that constantly repeats. What constantly repeats in the poem? The idea of a what?
Crystal stare.
Crystal stair. What do we think that crystal stare means in relation to the
A
poem?
life, a life.
Life, yeah.
Like
Life.
life, and it's saying that life isn't always what
Uh,
Um,
Rainbows and
sunshines and
yeah.
rainbows,
sunshine and
basically.
rainbows. So life isn't always perfect.
Hmm.
Can someone tell me anywhere in the poem where it kind of talks about that?
um,
About life not being perfect.
Yes, about life not being perfect.
Right in the beginning when she said, "Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it and splinters and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare."
Okay, so text, splinters, boards torn up, bare. What do those things represent when it
obstacles,
talks about life?
obstacles.
Obstacles,
Trials and tribulations.
trials and
Mm-hmm.
tribulations. Anybody agree?
I
I
agree.
agree.
Can you all tell me? Can you tell me why you say obstacles?
'Cause I mean, cause the stair already stairs. So it's like
Hmm.
it's always gonna be something on the stairs, something like that. And when you're going up the stair, you might step on something.
Mm-hmm.
It might stop you from going up,
Yeah,
but
you
you
might
Right.
still gotta keep going up.
you
Okay.
might trip, you might come back down,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
might
But at the
fall
end of the day,
down.
you have to get to the top.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have to keep going to get to the top. That's right. All right. So now let's talk about connotation. Now, what's denotation?
The dictionary part. What the dictionary part?
The dictionary meaning.
Denotation is the dictionary meaning. It's like the literal meaning of what the poem is saying. What we're going to do is kind of look at the figurative side of the poem. So there's going to be connotation.
Mm.
Connotation is
Feel.
Feel.
how you feel. So how the poem makes you feel.
Mm.
So when we read the poem, how does it make us feel?
Uh, it makes it feel like your mama talking to you in a way.
Okay, you kind of like
Feel motivated in a
you
Yeah.
way.
feel motivated. You feel
Understanding.
like you are a
Hmm.
part of that poem. Like the mother is talking to
Yeah.
you.
Hmm.
You feel motivated. All right, let me hear from everybody. You first.
How the poem made me feel?
You said it makes you feel motivated. How?
Because can I use a real world?
Hmm.
My mom, we didn't always come from money or anything like that. We've been from house to house, place to place. But at the end of the day, now we're good. Now we ain't struggling for money. We ain't struggling to eat none of that. Now we're good. But we've had obstacles prior
Right.
due to her being a single mother
Mm-hmm.
and it just raising me.
Mhm.
But now we're good. And she used to tell me, I promise we're gonna be okay. I promise we're gonna be okay. Life, this just life. This is just life. That's basically what she kept saying. This is just life and it's gonna get better.
Yeah. And so, like basically, like your mom was telling you, this mom is saying, it's life, but
It's gonna get
it's
better.
gonna get
It's
better,
not
and it's
always
all
dark.
about you keep going. Anybody want to add to respond?
Yeah, I like to add. I feel like she's basically trying to teach him perseverance and to keep going because she's telling him all these things that she knows he's gonna go through because
Mm-hmm.
she's went through it,
Mm-hmm.
and she feels like, even though it's gonna get dark,
Yeah.
because it's gonna
Trying
be
to find a
alright.
light.
Right. Right. Right.
If you
I,
go through something, just make sure you don't fold.
if you go through something, just make sure you don't fall.
Yeah.
All right, so you see it makes you feel like the mother is actually talking to you. Why do you feel that way?
Um, it's like she was saying with like a life, with a life thing, in real life. Mama always try to motivate you to, do better, even if you down in anything, they still gonna try to make you feel better in a way,
Right.
and motivate you to keep going.
So I know you specifically, you play sports.
Yeah.
Kind of tell me how your mom may motivate you through that, because I know you may experience hard times.
Yeah. During if I'm, just not feeling like I'm gonna do something, she always, come up in there, just try to motivate me to keep going, even through probably a hard game or something. I didn't do good. I didn't do something right. Because sometimes people be in their head and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, and start just going down on themselves. Mama tell me always keep your head up, and you're always gonna be able. Even though it's hard, but like a mother's word can do a lot. So
Right,
Really,
right,
it really
right,
can.
right.
so yeah.
All right, you said understanding. Can you tell me why?
I feel like it's very understanding, like how she put it. Like in the beginning of the poem, she said life ain't been no crystal stair. I feel like what she's saying by that, like the stairs is basically life. So like I'm understanding her, like she talking to me because like she breaking it down and telling me word for word like what she been through and like just basically just telling me like what it's gonna be and what it's not gonna be.
What it's
She
gonna
ain't
be and what it's not
sugarcoating
gonna
it.
be. All right, does anybody have anything to add before we move on? All right, so the last thing in our TP cast is going to be theme. Now, what is theme?
Like the moral.
The moral or the life lesson. Something I always teach every class I have. When you're trying to figure out what the theme of a story or theme of a poem is, you always ask, what is the lesson that the main character learned? So, with this, what is the lesson that the main character learns?
Even when life knocks you down, you have to get back up.
Even when life knocks you down, you still have to get back up. Anybody want to add another theme?
I think that was good.
All right. So even when life knocks you down, you have to get back up and keep going. Tell me in the poem what kind of supports that.
Right here it stands a 10, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light, so boy don't you turn back.
All right, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. So basically, what does that mean to you?
um like when she said sometimes going the dark down there, like sometimes you may seem like it's not gonna never end, but you gotta keep going, and then you gotta make it to the end because like you may feel discouraged or anything, but you gotta keep going to see the light at the end.
Yeah. We see all the time on social media how I know there's a meme where these two people are digging at the same time. One gives up and not they don't realize that they had went on just a little bit longer.
They
They would
would
have
have
hit
found
like
the
gold or
diamond
something.
gold.
So perfect. Y'all have hit it perfectly. I just want to do one thing. Let's go to our discussion questions.
The last one.
We're on page 4. So you all know we've talked about the Declaration of Independence. We've read Still I Rise. We watched Sinners. Let's look at question 2. It says, in your opinion, do all Americans have equal access to the American dream? What are some of the factors that could make it easier or harder to achieve happiness in America? Why do you think Harlem Renaissance writers focus on the American dream? So, first, what is the American dream?
I don't exactly know, but I know like the picture what they want. Wife, husband, child, nice happy family. Just
Marriage, happy family, freedom,
Financial stability.
financial stability. Do we feel that every American has access to that?
No.
No.
No. Why not?
sometimes the way you grew up and where you grew up plays a factor in that.
All right, that's environment. Anybody else?
Some people don't have. I'm going out what she said. Some people don't have the same opportunities as other people too.
Yeah.
Like
Some people-
education.
Yep.
things
Yep.
Like that.
Depending on where you are, depending on where you come from, you may not have the same, like you said, access to education, resources. So that's going to affect your ability to reach that American dream.
Yeah.
All right. So what are some factors that can make it easier? Because we've already talked about harder. What are some factors that can make it easier to achieve the American dream?
Being born into money.
Born to money.
Like your parents like having things set up for you, like a business or a company.
Maybe if you grew up in the American dream, it'll be more likely for you to live the American dream.
So
in a way.
basically, what you see and what like you kind of see around
Around
you
you
can kind of motivate you
and influence
to,
you to do that.